this video, I'm going to be talking about the longest book series I have ever read so far. Know of any series that is longer than this, but if there are, let me know, because this is the longest one I have ever read. It has 15 books. 15 books! This is called The Morganville Vampires series by Rachel Caine. And basically, you can tell, it's about vampires. It is the first vampire series I have ever read, and I started reading it when I was in middle school, I guess. Pretty long time ago. First of all, I'll just go through all of the books in order, and then I'll just talk about the overview of it. Yeah. Book 1 is Glass Houses. Book 2 is Dead Girls Dance. Book 3 is Midnight Alley. Book 4 is Feast of Fools. Book 5 is Lords of Misrule. Book 6 is Carpet Corpus. Book 7 is Fade Out. Book 8 is Kiss of Death. Book 9 is Ghost Town. Book 10 is Fight Club. Book 11 is Last Breath. Book 12 is Black Dawn. Book 13 is Bitter Blood. Book 14 is Fall of Night. And lastly, Book 15 is Daylighters. I have it all here. So the story basically is about 16-year-old Claire Danvers moves to Morganville, Texas, which is a fictional town, and attends Texas Prairie University. She is a smart student. She's very good in physics, and she gets bullied in her dorm by this girl named Monica Morell, who is the mayor of Morganville's daughter. Claire gets bullied by Monica and her posse, and so Claire decides that, hey, I'm not going to be living in these dorms anymore. So she moves to this house called the Glass House, which is lived in by 3 other people, Michael, Eve, and Shane. So Claire goes there to live, and slowly but surely she finds out that the entire town is run by vampires, and that there are some nice vampires, some mean vampires. She and her friends basically have to fight some pretty evil, nasty creatures and save the town. Along the way, she meets some pretty cool people who end up being her allies, and she meets some pretty dangerous people who end up becoming her enemies. So that's basically her story as she goes through her journey through 15 books, becoming close friends with Eve and Michael, and Shane eventually becomes her love interest. The town is run by very ancient vampire. Her name is Amelie. I always pronounced it Amelie, but I believe it's pronounced Amelie. She has this very complex relationship with another ancient vampire named Oliver. Eventually, Claire starts working under Mernon, who is also a super ancient vampire. He is a bit, but super, super smart. So they get along pretty well in that way, because Claire is also super, super smart. I did like the series in the beginning. In the beginning, I liked it a lot. Like, I was really into it, and as you can tell, like, these books are they're pretty thin, so they're pretty easy to get through. So it was easy for me to get through all of them. But eventually, I don't know. In the middle of the series, I just kind of stopped getting as excited about it as I used to be, which is weird because from the 9th book onwards, the plot gets more interesting, the characters become more interesting creatures are introduced, and interesting plot twists are also introduced. That's kind of when I just stopped showing interest, which is weird, because when most books start getting interesting, you just get interested, but for me, my interest just kind of started falling. The books were good though. Overall, it was great. What I did not like in the beginning was, and some authors tend to do this, which really annoys me, but the author, Rachel Caine, described Claire Danvers as this super nerdy chick, and she's really well versed in physics and math and science. She really knows that stuff. But it never really showed, there wasn't really situations where it showed her using her intellectual capabilities, pretty much. The second half of the series, she did. She used her her intelligence, her knowledge in chemistry, her knowledge in physics. She used all of that to get herself out of sticky situations. First half, I did not see that. So I guess it's kind of like character development. But that's actually what I kind of see in some other novels, where the main character, who's a female, the author describes her, or she's described as a super smart girl, but then never really shows her using that intelligence, you know, to get herself out of situations. She always needs help from somebody, or somebody saves her or something like that, but it never really shows. So I've kind of noticed that in a lot of novels. It really kind of annoys me because if you're going to describe her as the smart girl who really knows her stuff, why don't you let her use her intelligence? Why don't you show the reader that, hey, she knows, you know? So yeah, that's how, for me personally, it was for Claire Danvers in the beginning. But eventually she began really showing her intelligence, and I kind of like that. That's when I began kind of disliking the series, so it didn't really matter to me. Rachel Kane's writing style is really good because it really is very teenagery, very snarky, witty. Like the characters, they're pretty sarcastic and they hold their ground, which is what I love. Like Claire holds her ground. Like as she progresses throughout the series, she really becomes a stronger character. At first I hated her. I did not like her. Eventually I kind of began, you know, she was rubbing off on me. But all characters in the novel really did hold their ground, and I did like that. They were very sarcastic, not very sarcastic. They were pretty sarcastic, pretty witty, you know, they were all smart in different ways. So Rachel Kane really kind of spoke to me as, oh, then when I was a teenager. Now I'm 20. Her writing style really spoke to me. It was all that I could hope for. It was full of humor, lots of funny moments, lots of funny scenes. Then it had its fair share of romance too. It had action, which I loved. I think that's one thing I really loved about this series, was that it was not all about romance and all that stuff. There was a lot of action in there, and I do love action. I love action. Overall, the series was great. The vampires were great, the humans were great, and all the other creatures were great. Hope you guys actually get a chance to read this. 15 books is pretty long, but it is pretty fast to get through. I kind of ended up reading it a little slower than I would have, only because I began disliking it, but that doesn't mean everybody would dislike it. If you have read this series or any books in it, please let me know what you thought of it, and if you haven't, then challenge yourself for 15 freaking books. So thank you for watching this video. Again, let me know if you have read this or not. I will see you guys next time. So have a good night, good morning, good day. Yeah, 15 bucks. I still can't believe that's crazy. What was Rachel Kane thinking? I don't know.